You're watching Better Business Bureau's Business at its Best, brought to you by Ataraxis. You've got employees, we've got solutions. Human resources, insurance, benefits, and payroll. Our business is your business. BBB's Business at its Best.
And welcome to Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. We're here to help you make the most out of your company. The next 30 minutes are devoted to customer care. We've lined up a number of guests who are going to show you how they provide award-winning care, and will show you outstanding customer service in action at a battery store in Idaho Falls. If you're asking what is Business at its Best, what's it all about? Well, this is a weekly show from Better Business Bureau. We feature the top people in business from throughout the Snake River region. We cover it from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Vail, Oregon, north to McCall and Salmon. Big thanks to our media partners, KTVB, Idaho's very own 24/7 in Twin Falls and Boise, and Local News 8's Now channel in Idaho Falls. We also greatly appreciate Ataraxis for underwriting this program. The company takes care of the day-to-day work of HR, benefits, and payroll, so a business owner can focus on growing business. Stephen Slay owns Ataraxis and joins us today. Stephen, thank you so much once again for being a part of this program, and you're going to be with us on a regular basis talking about ways businesses can really improve and grow their business throughout Idaho. So start off telling us a little bit about Ataraxis, what you do.
We're a PEO, professional employer organization. What we do is take care of all the employee services for a business. So all the HR, the benefits, the work comp, the unemployment, the payroll, all the things that can take away from the overall ability to focus on the actual business of what a business does.
Now, we're talking today specifically about customer service, and we're going to be talking with a variety of folks about their philosophies on customer service, how they implement it. So let's start. What is your specific philosophy for Ataraxis and customer service?
It's the overall driving factor for it, customer service and customer care. Even though we provide task work to businesses, the real main focus is making sure that we provide the best employee service for our clients' employees. And so it's about the experience of it. It's not about the task work. We have to make sure that we take care of our customer, which is our client and their employees.
Now, you have that firmly planted in your head as the business owner, the person who's out there. How do you communicate that and train your employees to have that kind of a mindset?
Yeah, as much as you wish they would just automatically have what you have, it's not the case. You have to make sure that it's a daily conversation and it's part of everything that you do. And so the conversation's about a client, and our big thing is have you provided a wow experience? What is your wow experience with a client? And making sure that you're giving them the above and beyond. I always like to say, have you taken care of the client beyond 100% certainty? Because if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you satisfied what they were looking for, then you've provided above and beyond what they were looking for.
Important lessons for any small business to glean from this conversation. Now, you've had the conversations. You're asking, have you created this wow opportunity for a client, and it's written down. You're communicating it, but how are you absolutely positive it's being implemented when you're not there?
Right. Our managers, they're all making sure you got to task them with those things. We have weekly staff meetings to talk about customer care and making sure that we're all still focused on that, because it's so easy as a business to get into the day-to-day of what you actually do that it's easy to forget about your customers. And so we always go back to and bring everybody back together of what are we doing for our customers? How are we making sure that we've exceeded what we should be doing for them?
Terrific. Stephen Slay, Ataraxis. Folks can find you online at ataraxispeo.com.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks.
And coming up later on Business at its Best, an Idaho Falls Batteries Express gets high marks for customer care. We'll take you inside that shop so the franchise owner can show you her 3 rules of customer service. First, Kellen Moore takes the stage, this time as a keynote speaker. What he's talking about and how you can hear him in person coming up next. You are watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Vincent Katuku is an author and motivational speaker to the Boise State Broncos. He's celebrating 15 years in business this year with a big event featuring former Boise State quarterback Kellen Moore. And Vincent joins us on Business at its Best. Vincent, thanks so much for being with us today. We're talking about customer service and ways to provide outstanding customer service. You spend a lot of time with companies throughout the state and throughout the country on this topic, but you've got a big event coming up that's really going to help businesses take it to the next level.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, number one, I am always amazed by this topic of customer service. In Twin Falls, There is a man who lived there. He passed away about 9 years ago. He owned a funeral home. He became a very good friend of mine, Paul Reynolds. And before he died, I asked him what he thought of his life and his success in business. And that man, he said, told me, Vincent, in customer service, never think of the bottom line, think of the helpline.
The helpline.
Think of the helpline.
Wow.
And so basically that is really the best place to start. And the other thing which is very important is this: when you are serving customers, you can never fake your love towards them. You can never fake.
You have to be genuine.
You have to be genuine.
You cannot fake it.
You can
Absolutely.
never fake it. And it really, and those are some things which I think have really taken our business to another level. I mean, yeah, for many years working with the Boise State and basically treat them as my clients, work with them consistently. And now I have the privilege of having Kellen Moore, the most successful quarterback in the whole of United States college football history, being the keynote speaker.
And so coming up on March 1st, the information's up on the screen.
Yes.
You're going to have a big event at the Nampa Civic Center,
Yes.
celebrating your 15 years.
Yes.
And then Kellen's going to be the keynote speaker.
Yes.
Tell us about what kind of message Kellen's going to bring to the audience.
Oh, number one, many people have never had a chance of interacting with Kellen. They know him as a quarterback. But the most important thing we are going to learn is how was he brought up? What is his personal story? And how does he treat his teammates? What is his relationships with the people he considers important in his life? There is another aspect about Kellen which many people don't know: ability to bounce back. Whether he threw an interception or they lost a game, the following step was success.
The ability to bounce back.
Yes.
And so if a business, they send a team of people there, they're going to
Yes.
learn about these core principles, really, that they're going to carry out into their business to improve life.
When people come there, number one, they will talk about, Kellen is going to be talking about the vow of vision. Second grade, he knew what he wanted to do. Number two, he's going to talk about limitations, knowing that he doesn't have all the abilities like other people. What did he do to use his strengths?
All right, Vincent Katuku. The information is at katuku.com.
Yes.
And BBB accredited businesses get a discount. So
You
check us
know
out.
about that.
Yep. Definitely contact us about that. And we'll see you March 1st. Thank you so much, Vincent, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, coming up, this edition of Business at its Best is focused on how you can provide outstanding customer care. The best service is only given by the best people. What the people side of this equation is all about, a little later on Business at its Best. First, plenty of places you can hear doom and gloom about the unemployment rate. We'd rather discuss the incredibly rich talent pool Idaho offers. Meet one of those people who's available to offer tremendous customer care on behalf of your company when Business at its Best returns. Welcome back to Business at its Best. Better Business Bureau and the Idaho Department of Labor join forces to showcase the great professional talent available in the workforce throughout Idaho. The Department of Labor hosts the Professional Networking Group, and we feature one of the members each week playing the part of career matchmaker. Today, Lisa Olmstead joins us. Lisa, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. And we're going to get to know you soon, but this entire show is focused on customer care, customer service, and I'd like to hear you've got a great story to share about how you provided great customer care to somebody.
So I'll probably take a different angle than some of the other customer service stories. So I worked at HP as a privacy officer and also a manager. And what that responsibility entailed was making sure that the company had compliant processes around managing customer data. So we ran into some challenges that laws were surfacing quickly, HIPAA, the CAN-SPAM, which is the email act as well, and then also PIPEDA, which is an act out of Canada. So my scope was the Americas, and so we needed to implement the CAN-SPAM Act actually within 2 months, which was dramatic when you think about a global entity. So what I did is I worked with the legal teams to understand what the policy was. There's a lot of ambiguity. And then also I worked with the stakeholders that were managing customer data, such as email addresses. The challenges we ran into were disparate databases, again, the ambiguity of the type of law. So what we ended up doing is trained stakeholders rolled out a privacy policy out to 300,000 employees, which was an online and actually in person.
So I'm hearing communication and engagement, and you've given us an idea of what you've done in the past. What kind of job are you looking for? What is that perfect opportunity out there for you?
So what's interesting is that I would probably target project management and program management. I'm in the midst of getting my MBA in healthcare. I already have my MBA, but I'm supplementing it with a healthcare emphasis. And I would aspire to do patient engagement, help organizations understand what the Affordable Care Act really means. It's very complex as well. Rolling out patient-centered medical homes, accountable care organizations, and really providing a value-based perspective on organizations.
So with the MBA and a focus on healthcare, you are available on the job market right now. Folks want to contact you the best way? Email?
LinkedIn, email,
LinkedIn
all of the above, yeah.
Your name's been across the bottom of the screen throughout this program. Lisa Olmstead, you're with the Professional Networking Group out of the Idaho Department of Labor. Folks can find you there as well. Thank you so much for being with us, and all the best to you.
Thanks.
And have you stopped to think about the importance of your employees and managers to the customer service experience? Coming up next, a trusted business coach shares some key ways to stay focused on the people through customer service. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. It's time to get productive, and today we're talking about how to create a productive atmosphere focused on taking care of people. One of the keys to any successful company is its people. People make or break the business. Greg Carlson with On Track Coaching joins us to talk about productivity and the people who make it happen. Greg, thanks so much for being with us. For those viewers just joining us, give us an idea about yourself, your background, and On Track Coaching.
Been in the business world for 30 years, executive level for 10, and run my own consulting business now for the last 6 years, working with businesses, also a certified executive coach, work all over the state. Last year spent a great deal of time even in the Soda Springs area working with a successful company down in that area.
So let's start off, and we get caught up in the day-to-day operations of running a business. This is for the business owners out there. We forget about the people aspect. I know I find myself doing this on a regular basis. So why is it so important to remember the people? And the answer seems obvious, but we need to hear it.
Well, you know, I always tell people, no matter what product you make or what service you offer, let nobody show up for work tomorrow and see what kind of company you have. The people are really what makes it happen. And if you're in the service business, you might be in the plumbing business or the heating business, the electrical business. The reality is you're in the people business first. You're in the people.
No matter what kind of business you're in.
No matter what kind of business you're
making widgets or whatever.
You're in the people business. And people take care of people. And you have to remember that people don't come to work to make you successful. They come to work to make themselves successful. And part of a leadership's job is to make sure that they are successful.
And you have some ways that business owners need to be thinking through this process and some specific things that need to happen.
Well, believe it or not, in executive coaching, one of the very first things that you work on and that most executives will tell you that they're very poor at, as well as managers, and that's setting clear expectations. You know, we think that somebody knows how to take care of a customer. The reality is if we don't set clear expectations on how we want that customer taken care of, or set clear expectations of what the real job involves, then we come and we give the employee a poor review or a poor appraisal when we really haven't set out clear expectations and created a house accountability for them.
So we have the words up on the screen to see that it's all about the people first and foremost. We set those clear expectations, and then you mentioned this, it's the accountability factor to come in afterwards and be sure that people are held accountable. Winning people love accountability.
Let's look at any sports team and what do you dwell upon? Stats.
The scoreboard, yeah.
The scoreboard and the stats.
Yep.
Winning people want accountability. They want to know what their goals and objectives are, and they want to know when they reach them and how far they have to go to reach them. And when you create a house of accountability, when you have set clear expectations and you have people that want to win, you now have a winning team in your business.
All right, Greg Carlson, On Track Coaching. Excellent points for us to remember that it is all about the people, that we've got to set the clear expectations and then put the accountability measures into place.
Absolutely.
Okay. Folks want to find you. You have a website?
On Track Coaching. It's ONTRAC. Coaching.com.
All right, thank you so much for being with us today. And we go inside an Idaho Falls business that sent me to another store, but their customer service was so incredible, I found another reason to go back. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. You know, I found myself in a minor emergency with a defective battery for a camera. So I went running to the nearest place I thought I could find some help, which was Batteries Plus in Idaho Falls. They didn't have what I needed, and then they sent me to another store. But the customer service was so good at Batteries Plus, I took the camera back to ask the franchise owner her philosophy on customer service. She has 3 simple rules.
When I decided to open my own business, I want to take care of customers the way I want to be treated when I walk into a store. So we focus on solving the customer's problem, and selling products comes along with that.
Wouldn't it be nice if every business owner held up those same standards of customer service? A recent post-holiday shopping survey showed that more than half said customer service was most important when compared to pricing, product selection, and location.
But I believe the most important thing is taking care of customers so they'll come back again. And that way, when I go out in the community, people are always happy to see me. And I hear every day, I was in Batteries Plus, and I always ask, were you well taken care of? And the answer is always yes. And of course, they're always, in any business, you're going to have a few unhappy customers. But they're usually unhappy because they're asking us to do something that's just not reasonable from a business point of view. But we work with them. We do everything we can reasonably to take care of them.
Price, usually highlighted in advertising and promotional materials, may pull the customer in the store, but the experience they have with the sales staff is what makes repeat customers. Laura offers a few points on customer service that can be translated to any business.
Number 1, you won't get in trouble for taking care of the customer. Number 2, take care of the customer. Number 3, take care of the customer. That's it.
It's really simple.
It's really simple, yeah. And don't lose sight of the fact that we're here to sell batteries because we run a business, and we can't take care of our customers unless we're here to take care of our customers. And you do that by selling batteries and flashlights and other things. But more importantly, the funny thing is when you went out to do your interview, Alan came back and we were talking about how you came to be here today. And he said, so you're telling me that being unsuccessful is good? And I said, you weren't unsuccessful. The fact is, we solved the problem for the customer yesterday. It turned out that it wasn't selling him a battery, it was making sure that we knew that the battery was, but we were successful, we took care of the customer. That's what counts.
It's really that simple. Businesses may be missing what is truly important to the consumer if they don't make the buying experience pleasing to the customer.
So true. We're joined by Dr. Kanya Weber, professor at Northwest Nazarene University. And Dr. Weber, thanks so much for joining us on the show, new show for us. And give us a bit of a background on who you are, what you do there at the university.
Well, I actually joined Northwest Nazarene University after spending about 13 years in corporate, and then decided to kind of switch a little bit of a career. And so right now I'm department chair, as you mentioned, in the School of Business, and I have the privilege of educating the students there in Northwest Nazarene University.
And our time together is usually focused on marketing. And
Absolutely.
So we're talking about this customer service ID. You had a chance to watch the show, and, and you've heard from the folks and you watched the story. Why do businesses struggle with providing great customer service? Because it's easy to remember all the times that the service was poor at the restaurant, and we walked through and nobody recognized we were in the room as far as the store staff.
Well, I think some has to do with, how we perceive good customer service. A lot of times we use descriptors such as quality, responsiveness, reliability, but for different people that means different things. So for instance, if I have someone who's in, a younger generation, they may view the ability to get online, take care of their accounts as very responsive. But if you have someone from an older generation, their expectation is that they'll go into that establishment, they'll get to sit down and talk to a person and just discuss their accounts. So really it's an issue of really understanding what are your customers' expectations on customer service and really meeting those expectations.
Asking a lot of questions through the process.
Yes.
So how can a business then start to improve that level of customer service, understanding the different needs and the different wants that are out there?
Well, I think one thing that you mentioned in one of the other segments is people. Hire and select the right people. We all know there are certain people that enjoy serving. They're great with people, they enjoy it, and a lot of companies try to standardize services. So when you come into their establishment, regardless of who the employees, there's a consistent standards service. yet you need to train them on what are the expectations and empower the employees to take care of things if there is a problem. Also, I'd like to talk about rewarding and recognizing employees for doing a great job. If you say it's important that you need to have good customer service, then you need to reward them for that. And so when it comes to review time, you should have some type of measurement that basically points to how they've performed in that particular area.
I know there's one restaurant in Idaho, and the level of expectation for the folks is that you will be identified, called out by at least 3 employees during the time you're in that restaurant. 3 different employees must recognize your presence in the restaurant. And so those are the type of cultural things and level of expectation that you're talking about. So let's talk about what sets the customer service companies apart from other companies.
Well, I think what you just mentioned is they're just not customer focused, they're customer obsessed. They know their customer. Everyone in the organization knows this is a top priority. They have high standards and people are expected to meet them. So there definitely is an idea that the customers are number one. And I like the segment that you brought up is the fact that it doesn't matter whether we service that customer or they are serviced with one of our competitors. We care about that customer.
And you leave a lasting impression.
Absolutely.
In that case. Dr. Kanya Weber with NNU, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. And that does it for this edition of Business at its Best. We hope we've given you some tools to really make your business customer obsessed. We're back here at the same time, same channel, with more on how to make your business the best. On the next episode, we're going to be focusing on data security and how you can protect your customers. Thanks again for watching.